I have lost all respect for you. Absolutely 100% all respect for you.
How Simone Biles is going to defend trans folks in sports, trans girls in sports specifically, versus using transphobia to defend it, telling Riley Gaines that her best competition or whatever is a male. That was mind blowing.
Girl, you want to call out Riley Gaines because Riley Gaines has been fighting for women's and girls' rights in sports because she got beat by a dude. Her opportunities were stolen from her by a guy. And Simone, you gonna sit up here on this internet and call her a bully? Girl, now that you got your stuff, you got your money, you didn't have to compete against a guy. So you cool.
She's getting absolutely cooked, guys. Simone Biles is getting destroyed. TikTokers are roasting the hell out of Simone Biles, an Olympic champion, Olympic gold medalist, black woman, 11-time champion. So she's accomplished a lot, and her reputation is going down the tubes. The people that was watching her, a lot of them probably not even going to watch anymore, which is crazy to think about, including me, because she came out against Riley Gaines out of nowhere, just out of the cut, just whew, talking about Riley Gaines is a bully and, you know, she being mean and she's bullying the trans community. She needs to support their community and she's body shaming her, just all kinds of stuff. I was like, this woman has lost her mind. On TikTok, they got on her ass. But before we get to that, I want to make sure you guys understand the full story here. So this happened because Riley Gaines, like she always does, this is like a regular thing that she does. She posted, this isn't new, she posted about a story that just occurred. So Marissa Rothenberger, a biological male, just single-handedly led Chaplin Park to a 6-0 shutout to win the Minnesota Girls State Championship. So some man, some boy is playing on a girls team, which according to Trump's executive order is not even legal, but you know, they're doing it anyway. And here's the team. Riley Gaines said, comments off, to be expected when your star player is a boy. Now, Simone Biles apparently was triggered by this. She responds back with this tweet here. You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating an avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Maybe transgender category in all sports. So newsflash to Simone Biles. This is why people who haven't been in politics should not jump in and then just start talking. You need to be listening first and researching, then start talking. Trust me, I did a lot of research before I ever even started this channel to make sure I knew what the hell I was talking about so I wouldn't get on the camera and look like a damn idiot like Simone Biles did here, because they've already tried to have a trans category before in sports and no transgender wants to join.
Well, in Germany, plans to accommodate transgender swimmers at the World Cup starting today have been scrapped. World Aquatics has created a so-called open category for transgender competitors. That grouping was canceled after it received no entries.
The reason why this happens is because they don't want to feel like they're different. They don't want to be singled out. If they say they're a woman, then God dang it, you better accept it. That's what they want. Man puts on a dress, chops his wee off, takes some hormones. They are a woman now. They can get pregnant. They can have periods. Whatever mental illness and delusion that they want, you need to validate that. That's how it works, Simone. This isn't something that I just made up. It's been going on for years, decades. It's just gotten more prominent because the Democrat Party's got more woke and stupid, and more people like you have been speaking out, supporting these weirdos. So Riley Gaines responded here, this is actually so disappointing. It's not my job or the job of any woman to figure out how to include men in our spaces. You can uplift men stealing championships in women's sports with your platform. Men don't belong in women's sports, and I will say that with my full chest. In addition to that, Riley Gaines responded here, says Simone Biles when she had to endure a predatory man. So for those who don't know, Simone Biles did have to deal with a predatory man before. And it's crazy now that all of a sudden she's talking out both sides of her mouth. Let's take a look at this.
I am also a survivor of sexual abuse. And I believe without a doubt that the circumstances that led to my abuse and allowed it to continue are directly the result of the fact that the organizations created by Congress to oversee and protect me as an athlete, USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee failed to do their jobs. I don't want another young gymnast, Olympic athlete, or any individual to experience the horror that I and hundreds of others have endured before, during, and continuing to this day.
So you don't want that, but hey, look, just put men on the team. Be inclusive, because it makes Simone Biles and some mentally ill man feel better. No. And some of them ain't even mentally ill. Some of them just predatory as hell. They'll do anything to get some tail in whatever way they could get it.
In the wake of the Larry Nassar abuse. To be clear, sorry.
Take your time.
Oh no, now you feel some sort of way about you and your abuse.
To be clear,
okay.
I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame
Larry Nassar is the guy. Let me pause right there for a second, show you who this guy is. This is the guy. Larry Nassar is an American former family medicine, osteopathic physician, and convicted sex offender from 1996 to 2014. 18 years, almost 20 years. He was the team doctor of the United States women's national gymnastics team, where he used his position to sexually exploit and sexually assault hundreds of young athletes as part of the largest sexual abuse scandal in sports history. You think he's like the only guy capable of this or something? And that nobody's going to say, hey, I'm trans, and they're just going to levy that as an excuse because they know idiots like you will just accept it? Like, hey, don't be mean to him. Let him go and grape a few females before we do anything about it. No. First off, this has already happened to some people from trans people that, oh, I'm a woman for real. Secondly, it shouldn't happen to anybody. Nobody should have humored this to begin with.
an entire system that enabled and perpetrated his abuse.
Okay. So now we got to talk about the Blacklash. She's getting backlash, blacklash, white lash. She's getting everything because nobody is really appreciating her for this. Everything that I saw on TikTok was people absolutely roasting her, cooking her, losing respect for her, just like me, and just truly disappointed that you have been through this type of experience and you're willing to put other people through the same thing just because of some sort of weird woke ideological position that you have, some sort of weird woke virtue signal that all it does is end up not only leading those weirdo trans people to their death anyway, most of them kill themselves. Secondly, leads a bunch of women, vulnerable women just like you, to be sexually assaulted by them.
Simone Biles tearing down Riley Gaines and telling her that she should be supporting the trans community and that she lost and that she should accept the fact that she lost is probably the most disgusting thing I've seen in a long time.
So Simone Biles, whom I've never really liked, is attacking Riley Gaines because Riley Gaines wants to protect women and girls like my own daughters from men who are predatory. But isn't Simone Biles the same person that spoke out against men being predatory? But now all of a sudden she's on the side of these same sort of men who are predatory?
Riley Gaines is better than me because I would have just played that audio and clip of Simone Biles' husband embarrassing her on that podcast and pretty much telling the rest of the world that he doesn't like her or respect her. I don't know. If I had married a husband who didn't like me and who publicly just kind of like embarrasses me the way I would never speak. And I would watch my tone on the internet.
I have lost all respect for you. Absolutely 100% all respect for you. For you to go on your platform and talk about Riley Gaines sticking up for women athletes and their rights, and transgenders need to not be in women's athletics. So you called her a bully because she is advocating for us and for our daughters. And then you come on your platform and you bully her.
So you cool. So, do as I say, but not as I do. Is that how it is? So all these other girls, they got to compete against men. But since you didn't, it's okay. Nope. Take her phone. I'm sick of her. She making black women look real bad. And let me tell you something, Simone. We are not for that mess. Okay? We do not believe that a boy can say he's a girl and go take these girls' opportunities because he's weak and his parents are weak. And you're weak. So it seems like, Simone, you're bought and paid for it. The Democrats told you to say that mess. Your PR agent, whoever that is, told you to say that mess. Now you're looking silly.
And tell her that she's a sore loser, that she needs to stand behind these trans athletes. What the fuck is going on? Did you lose your fucking mind again? I think you need to go back and check on your mental health one more time, because I'm pretty sure you lost your fucking mind. Simone Biles.
This is coming from somebody who is a survivor of sexual abuse by Larry Nassar, the disgraced USA gymnastics doctor. This is such a disgrace considering so many little girls look up to you. And now you're advocating for men to basically be in the same private space as women.
And calling Riley Gaines' size into the equation while resembling Webster is offensive because you don't hold a candle to Riley Gaines. But I just find it ironic when the women pick and choose, especially ones of the nature of Simone Biles. They just pick and choose which men are safe and which men aren't safe. I thought all men would, you've created this campaign on your past. I'm confused to what Riley Gaines did to you by Riley Gaines wanting to protect women. Let's get at him.
So Simone Biles, who succeeded in gymnastics because of rules like Title IX, is mad at Riley Gaines for protecting Title IX. And this is the same person who was assaulted by a male in her sport, but is totally okay and is advocating for men to dress as women and go into their sports in locker rooms and bathrooms. And then goes on to essentially body shame Riley, who is 5'5", by the way, when she's 4'8". She's a literal hobbit and is trying to say that Riley should bully men because men are her size. If that's the case, I'm 5'9". What the heck am I supposed to bully?
It's Simone Biles. I don't know who she owes. I don't know who paid her to say that. But it is 100% paid. To go one step further and tweet that Riley Gaines, her actual competition, and quote unquote, pick on somebody your own size would be a male. This is the reason I'm publicly coming out and saying this. I've never been a fan of Simone Biles. She's always been a mean girl. You guys just never paid attention to the signs.
That was crazy. That tweet was crazy. Even for her. Because the thing is, like, we all wrote for her. Like, whenever her husband came out being, like, stupid, I was just like, oh, no. We read at dawn. But for her to turn around and get ugly, that's hella ugly.
Simone Biles, who is a direct beneficiary of Title IX, and basically what Riley Gaines does is she advocates for fairness in women's sport. What's really ironic about this, too, especially making fun of the way that Riley Gaines looks, is Simone Biles has been very open about the fact that she suffered from bullying. People bullied her for her looks when she was younger. So the fact that she would come out like this so publicly, I'm convinced, like, who paid you to tweet that? And it always seems to be the bigger athletic women that come out like this. It's always the ones that are extremely decorated, like basically in retirement or close to retirement. And we're advocating for little girls that are growing up. They're not, if what's been happening continues to happen, then little girls aren't going to have the same opportunities that Simone had.
Simone would never be in this position if men were competing in her sport. She would never have all these gold medals and be as successful if men were competing in women's gymnastics. And the only reason we don't see trans women competing in women's gymnastics is because if they fell on the beam, it would hit them where it hurt. And I would be so embarrassed to be her future daughters, knowing that your mother was the person who actively fought to take away your opportunities and your rights in women's athletics, to take away your ability to have podium spots and awards, to win scholarships, to win competitions, to change in a locker room without men being in there. And you mentioned having a third category for transgenders. That is just not possible for a couple reasons. First of all, women's sports are already struggling to find financials and to find people to even watch them to begin with, so why would we create a third category that wouldn't be able to function? And two, creating a third category for transgenders is feeding into delusions. And it's just another category for men to win. We're even seeing with the Boston Marathon, the men's category, women's category, and they have a third category for like gender fluid or something stupid like that. That's 3 categories for men to win.
When you yourself were abused by a man in sports. I can't keep up with the hypocrisy. I can't believe we're arguing about the most common sense issue in the world. Don't worry, Riley. You represent America more than Simone ever has in her entire career. It's no wonder you dropped out of the 2020 Olympics due to mental health.
Simone Biles decided to try to slick roast Riley Gaines and literally body shame her. This is after Simone Biles' body shame. It says Simone Biles is done with toxic culture of trolling about her body. Simone Biles has been body shamed for having like a petite body. She's short, her hair, her face. A lot of people say that she's straight up ugly. Like they say everything about her. And now you're going to take and do the same thing to Riley Gaines, who, if for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think most people would prefer Riley Gaines' body, at least her face at the very least, over Simone Biles' body. But, you know, I'm not gonna comment on my personal preferences, but, you know, let's keep moving. Last thing here is I want to show you Riley Gaines' response to that final comment.
Okay, figured I would whip out a tape measure to settle this debate. Wikipedia says I'm 5'9". Simone Biles yesterday told me to bully someone my own size and then said, ironically, that would be a man. Number one, acknowledging that there are differences between men and women. Number two, this is my 6'4" husband, the same height as Will Thomas, my super cute husband. I've got a tape measure. Clearly, I don't have shoes on. I'm standing back to back. Don't know why the lights are flickering. Maybe that's an omen. Standing back to back. I have to stand on it or the haters are going to say we have like a Republican tape measure. Back to back.
Tape measure.
MAGA
math.
65.5 on the nose, a hair below actually.
5'5.5". So this is for the Wikipedia people who list me at 5'9". This is for Simone Biles, who tells me to bully someone my own.
So I don't know where that even came from, that idea that Riley Gaines was like really tall or masculine. I guess it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, as Simone Biles, like never seen any clips or video. I mean, Riley Gaines has probably been on TV more than Simone Biles has. So you can clearly see that she is not particularly tall, and especially with Leah Thomas. Leah Thomas like towering over Leah Thomas has to be 7 freaking feet tall. But anyway, guys, this is a mess. I think that she deserves to get cooked here. A lot of these people, it's sad that in today's day and age, you got all of these celebrities and people in sports and like LeBron coming out and just saying so much stupid stuff and demonstrating that they have no goddamn clue what the hell they're talking about and supporting these really strange things. Like Simone Biles, now that she's it's almost akin to like pulling the ladder up behind you after you've accomplished something, because you know, Simone knows that she's not going to have to compete against men in the Olympics. If she wants to strongly advocate for that, I mean, I challenge her, like, prove you can actually beat men at stuff, which it doesn't make any sense. Simone Biles is like, she looks like she's about 4 foot tall. I don't know exactly what her height is, but she is very clearly normally shorter than every single person in any room that she's in. So in certain things, she's obviously going to have certain advantages because obviously you're just going to have them. But in the majority of categories, men tend to find ways to win at pretty much everything. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's easy to say, well, now this is what you support because now you're not dealing with sexual abuse. Now you're dealing with other people who got to worry about their safety and whether or not they get abused and whether or not their kids and their daughters have to deal with people in their schools and in their locker rooms and all of this different stuff. And she just doesn't really care. That's really what it is. She cares about being an advocate, about being a provocateur, clearly, because she basically provoked, directly attacked, a well-known advocate for protecting biological women. Like, I don't see nothing about this. I see as like, oh, you're bullying the trans community. Like, man, look, just get born as whatever gender you're born as and just rock with it. Like, what the hell wrong with you? Like, this is stupid. I'm not playing into this stupid delusional game. And I seen somebody say it was insulting to call him a man or a boy, call him a trans. I ain't calling them a goddamn thing that I don't want to call them unless it was something that the Lord gave them. If they was born with a mix up in terms of both organs down there, then we can call them whatever science determines we call them. But if they was born with a wee wee or of a JJ, then I'm gonna call them a man or a woman. That's it. I don't care what nobody else got to say, but these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
I'm done with this woman. I'm done with Simone Biles. I'm done with her. I'm cool. She supported Kamala, and on top of that, this woman, you ain't got to play against no biological men, Simone. How you gonna defend and say these women basically need to get over it and respect these men right to play in a league, but you don't want all these gold medals? How would you like if a bigger, stronger man was playing against you? I'm canceling Simone Biles. I'm done with her. I'm done with her.